Paris, Texas is one of the most visually impressive films I've ever seen. Along with its emotional story, the film makes you feel. It does this masterfully by conveying emotion not just through the story, but through its lighting, colors, and cinematography. The film deals with themes of isolation, identity, love, loss, and redemption. Director Wim Wenders and cinematographer Robbie Mueller communicate these visually with sharp colors, open landscapes, and purposeful framing. These all reflect Travis's emotions and his story. In the opening scene of Paris, Texas, we see Travis as he wanders through the desert. The cinematography isolates Travis in the scene, communicating his loneliness and showing that he is emotionally and psychologically lost. The blankness of the desert reflects his mental state, empty, broken, and lost. The color palette of the shot, with Travis's red hat contrasting against the harsh earth tones of the desert, shows that he is out of place. Film critic Barbara Shares explains that Bobby Mueller designed the film's visual style around making the viewer believe in the reality of light. He avoided artificial effects and let natural light carry the emotion of the scene. In the desert opening, this approach is obvious. The harsh sunlight doesn't just illuminate Travis, it exposes his emptiness and makes the landscape feel as barren as he is. In this shot, after Travis's brother finds him, we see him in the back of a car, framed by the back window. The contrast of the exterior movement and the interior stillness, as Travis sits frozen, shows his disconnect from himself and from the world as it moves on without him. This shot also isolates him from Walt, showing his hesitation to open up to his brother. The red hat once again contrasts in color and brings attention to Travis. This extreme wide shot of Travis shows him again isolated, as he is swallowed by the landscape around him. It visually reinforces how disconnected Travis is from his family, society, and even himself. Another important element is the telephone pole splitting the frame, reflecting his fractured identity, showing him on one side and the world on the other. The train tracks and the horizon ahead of him represent the unknown of the future and his own life. As Travis tries to win back the trust of his son, we see this shot where Travis and Hunter are framed in the same shot, but the road in between them. This shows their relationship is still distant and awkward. The colors, soft greens and warm earth tones, communicate the calmness and growth of Travis rebuilding his own life, and Hunter's childlike world. Travis continues to stand out. Now his dull earth tone clothes show he still doesn't fully fit in. This is the first time Travis and Hunter share a frame together, showing the beginning of their reconnection. The next shot shows how Travis is apart from the world and lost in his emotions. The shot places Travis above the freeway, which is alive with movement. While Travis walks above it detached, not part of it, the railing makes him look trapped, showing he's mentally confined by trauma, guilt, and memory. The dusk lighting reflects transition and emotional uncertainty. Although Travis walks ahead towards something, he has now found direction and purpose in life. As Travis works to build his relationship with his son and breaks him to find his wife, we see this shot of both of them eating in the back of a truck. With massive concrete freeway structures above them, these structures dwarf Travis and Hunter, showing they are both overwhelmed by the complexity of the world, but are framed together, finding comfort in each other. The freeway lines and curves, along with the bright lighting and colors, symbolize the new paths and possibilities for the future. This shot represents Travis opening up to his son emotionally and preparing to face his responsibilities, guilt, and past. When Travis finally sees Jane for the first time at the peep show, she talks to him unaware of who he is. The colors and framing of the shot set the tone for this emotional scene. Jane's bright pink sweater reflects the warmth, vulnerability, and comfort Travis once associated with her. This is contrasted by the artificial, dull room around her, showing the bleak reality he's found her in. The warm, bright light on her shows how she's unknowingly open, while Travis stays hidden behind the glass. This close-up tight framing of this scene creates an emotional and intimate environment as they both face their past. In this shot, Jane is unaware that Travis is the one behind the glass. Glass separates them and builds tension. Jane is framed as an image as she is a memory in Travis's mind and not a person. Her reflection in the glass creates two versions of herself, the one that Travis sees and the person she has become. Jane is alone in this shot. She's performing in front of her own reflection. The poetic irony of this is that Travis is finally ready to see her, and he's grounded and ready to face his past. But she can't see him. They are separated by much more than glass, years of pain, guilt, and emotional conflict. When Jane finally realizes that the man behind the glass is Travis, they share a frame together for the first time. Jane is wearing black in this shot, reflecting the emotional weight of the scene. Along with the dark lighting and isolating Travis in the room, Travis appears in the glass almost ghost-like, showing how unreal and shocking this image is for Jane. The merging of the reflection in the glass resembles the collision of their identities and the past and present. This scene communicates the feeling of seeing someone you thought was gone forever. As film scholar Anna Pages argues, the peep show scene works through the tension between what the eye can see and what the gaze cannot grasp. Travis and Jane face only reflections and shadows rather than each other, so the image itself becomes an obstacle. They can look, but they cannot truly see. This supports my point about Jane's double reflection, which shows the split between her past, her present, and the version of Travis she still imagines. Page's theory clarifies why the scene feels so painful. The cinematography forces both characters to confront illusions before they can face the truth. In this scene, Travis waits alone while Jane reunites with Hunter for the first time in years. The color of this shot is incredible. The deep blue sky reflects Travis's emotional numbness and deep sadness, while the thin orange line on the horizon resembles a new beginning and hope for the future. Travis is placed in the shadows, separating him from the reunion and making him look unimportant and unseen. This extreme wide shot makes him look small and distant, emotionally weak. He's turned away from the viewer, isolating a deeply personal moment. This shot shows that Travis loves them both enough to stay out of their way. As Jane is finally reunited with her son, the cinematography creates the most intimate scene in the film. Jane is dressed in green, symbolizing a transition from her life to a new one with her son. Her blonde hair and pale skin contrast with the dark background, making her a source of warmth. Hunter is placed in the scene, fully embracing his mother, showing that he is the emotional link between both parents. This moment gives emotional closure to both characters. After Travis watches the reunion, he turns around and leaves in his truck. The green and blue lighting of the shot creates a visual world that Travis no longer belongs in. The wide framing and empty space emphasizes his loneliness and the emotional distance from his family. The streetlights cast long shadows, contrasting the warm lighting of the reunion. This scene perfectly reflects on Travis's quiet heartbreak and acceptance. This scene completes the story, letting Travis make his final sacrifice and letting Hunter and Jane reunite without him. Nick Roddick notes that Travis simply disappears by walking into the darkness, and that this action is a hallmark of Wender's characters. Movement is a kind of emotional truth. This supports my interpretation of the final shot. Travis's departure is not a failure, but a Wenders-style acceptance. By leaving, he completes the journey and the road demanded by the film. Paris, Texas uses cinematography to reveal what characters cannot say. During the film, Travis moves from isolation to connection and finally to acceptance. The colors, lighting, framing, and landscapes all tell us Travis's story masterfully through visuals. The empty wide deserts show his emotional isolation, while the soft natural lights and colors in his frames with Hunter show us his reconnection. The bright pinks and dark shadows of the peep show sequences express his complicated relationship with Jane, and the deep blues and empty spaces of the final scenes reflect his acceptance and longing. Paris, Texas shows us that cinematography can become the language of the story, expressing feelings that words can't.